Well, you're back on Night Sounds. Barry and Joe here with Grace Fraga.
Woo! Hi! Woohoo! How are you guys?
I wish I
She's
could
her own
roll.
hype man.
I wish I could roll my R's. Fraga.
Fraga, Graciela. My real name is Graciela Fraga.
There it is.
Barry,
That's what I was looking for.
You are the most gringo white dude that grew up in Southern California I have literally ever met. Like,
I don't know,
come
man.
on, man.
How do you
Yeah,
learn
hold on.
something like that?
I don't
You
know.
practice. Well, well, I mean, for Grace, it was probably like growing up, right?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
For me, it was just literal same. Growing up in Southern California, you just kind of like learn some words with the rolling R. So, is it something that your tongue can't do, Barry?
You put the tongue at the roof of your mouth like this. It's okay. Getting there one step at a time.
I think it's like, people can curl their tongues and some people can't. They can make their, you can do that and some people can't.
Whoa! What did you just do with your tongue?
Can you do, Joe, you can't do that?
No. Wow.
You can't do anything like that? You can't turn your tongue into a taco?
No, can't do that. I can't taco my tongue.
Grace can do it. Those of you listening on radio can't see any of this. You're missing out on everything.
We're like sticking our tongues out at each other. It's great.
So crazy.
Grace, is your podcast about similar to this one where we stick our tongues out at people, or do you have a lot more conversation on you?
No, it's a very deep podcast where we talk about, No, we do stupid stuff too. Don't worry about it. We do. I mean, I'm there, so I'm always doing stupid stuff.
So wait, what? Okay, so what is tell us what is the name of your podcast first off? Let's get into that.
Well, my name is Grace, so I call the podcast The State of Grace. And so it has two meanings. Yeah. First of all, I'm the queen, right, of my own state. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm a Leo, so I think I'm a queen.
Oh, and I'm a Leo too. I also think I'm a queen. So
I love other Leos. I love them. So you know how we think we're kings and queens, right? Well,
I just think I'm a queen, so it's fine.
I love that.
My wife is the king of the apartment, so I'll just take second to that. So that's fine.
That's great. Awesome. So it has that meaning, and then it has the more profound meaning, which is the state of grace is what I call your ideal state of being. So the guests that come on the show, the first guest is an entertainment person, like someone in the entertainment business who has overcome a challenge, like a really high stakes challenge, like, near death experience or cancer or any other, disabilities or anything, that's kind of like more hardcore. And
wait, would lack of hair fall into that category?
Joe,
have I overcome some difficulty because of my baldness?
Yeah,
I don't know. I might.
Joe, you're bald? What?
That might deserve a call in, like a 2-minute call-in. That's it.
All right. It's not heavy. It's not heavy enough for that. I understand.
No, it's not. Yeah, exactly. No, that's too much. Yeah, it's way too much. No, we can't. I don't know if my audience can handle this. They're going to tune out. Yeah, it's too deep. But so the guest has a challenge, right? And then the interview goes to how did you overcome the challenge? And then what is your ideal state of being? And have you reached that ideal state of being after that challenge? So it has that format. And then the second guest is somebody who's an expert in something, could be relationships, an expert on laughter, an expert on, how to achieve your goals, whatever. And, it ties to the first guest usually. And then that person, the second guest, will give us tools and tricks on, how to reach our own state of grace. And it varies. Your state of grace, Joe, might be different than Barry's, right? Like yours might be, I don't know,
running,
getting a wig.
Hey, getting a wig might work out too. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. By the way, I have a collection of wigs because I had to go through chemotherapy. No, it's okay. No, I know everybody's like, oh no, cancer. It's okay. I'm alive. But yeah, so I have some really cool wicks if you ever want to try some.
I'll take you up on that. But actually, that brings up a really good point. Did you discover this podcast format going through your own struggles and challenges in the entertainment industry? Is that how you came up with that?
This is why I love Leo. So smart.
I am so smart, Barry.
No, I know.
We've had a guest say it now, so now you can never not say it.
But Joe, they think we're not smart because we're like kidding all the time or having fun, right? I know it happens to me. They think I'm dumb, but then they're like, "Oh, she's profound." What? Right? It happens to you.
Wow.
They're like, "Why?" You're like,
I want you to come on the show every week. You make me
"Oh,
feel
I
good
love
about
to."
myself.
Yes, totally good vibes. I call myself Buddha with booty. That's my wisdom side. So I have like a lot of memes on Buddha with booty. But anyway, sidebar. Sidebar. But yes, totally, you're right, spot on. I was diagnosed in 2021 with stage 3 breast cancer. Hello, what? I know. I was like, no, you're joking. I was like, no, this is not possible. I'm
coming right in the middle of COVID too.
I know. Well, because I didn't get a mammogram in 2020. So I did get it in 2021. So that thing was growing. My luck, the only time I don't get a mammogram, the thing is growing. So 2021, April, I was diagnosed, but who's counting, right? And then I had surgery. I had a mastectomy. They took my right breast out and they put a new breast in. Her name is Titty.
Yay.
Yes. I know, of course.
I've named mine too, but we're not going to talk about that today. No, that's totally different subject. Totally different. No.
Yeah, we'll introduce them. Like, hi, Titty. This is whatever yours is. And the other one is Big Mama. She smokes. She's a mess. But she never got cancer, even though she smokes. Go figure. I don't know. Titty never smoked. So whatever.
Wow. Isn't that always the way? The smoker, the heavy smokers always avoid the cancer. And then the ones that don't always get it. I feel bad. I feel bad for Titty. I mean, Big Mama is a very bad influence on Titty. And I just don't understand.
I know, she's only like 2 years old, and the other one's like, "Hey, girl, what's up?" It's like, no, don't smoke. Secondhand smoking, no bueno. Okay, but so I was diagnosed, went through surgery, chemo, radiation. I lost my hair. Now it's grown. What? Yes.
Oh wow, nice. That is wow. I wish I could grow hair like that.
Yeah, you did all that in 2 years and all that hair, man.
Yes, I know, right?
Pretty good.
That is fantastic.
I used to have long. Thank you. Well, I have my mane. I'm the lioness, right? But, but
boy, if you guys aren't subscribing to us on YouTube, you are missing out. You radio listeners who can't see what's going on, missing everything.
So you're coming up on 3 years since your diagnosis. 2 years cancer free now.
Well, you count as a cancer survivor. It's 5 years after you were diagnosed. Okay. So I'm 3 years after I was diagnosed, and yes, 2 years cancer free because I finished treatment, radiation in March, and I think I had my PET scan in June, and I was cancer free. I had another PET scan like a month ago, and I'm like so clean right now. And I went vegan, which not vegan, a form of veganism, which is whole foods, plant-based diet, and. That is like it. I had to transition. Let me tell you, because
don't you miss bacon?
I miss everything, but you know what? Your palate kind of changes, and now it's almost like meat. I don't want meat. I want some beans, and I want some vegetable. I never thought I was going to be into veggies because I never was into veggies ever. It was like, how you eat first your meat and your potatoes and then like one leaf of lettuce and you're like, yeah, I got my serving of vegetables.
You sound like my Midwestern dad.
Oh, really?
That's how he was. He was a meat and potatoes guy. But I'm really happy that everything's coming back clean. Like you and my brother. My brother has been going through bladder cancer treatments for a while. He's been fully okay for 2 years now, which is great. But you guys, this always to me, this speaks to the importance of preventative medicine and making sure that you get to your doctor to get checked out, because even you might be feeling okay. You might think everything's fine, hunky-dory in your life, but then you go in, something might be up. So for me, I just had my physical.
Excellent.
And everything came out fine, except my cholesterol is a little high. So I have to go on a statin so I don't get the buildup in my heart, so I don't, get on a podcast and just
he's tired.
Over on Harry,
Well, let me tell you, for that, to lower your cholesterol, if you don't have to be vegan, but if you include more plants and fruits in your diet and less meats, you're going to be okay.
Well, this is why I got Barry, because our urban farmer over here makes sure to hook me up with onions and carrots and green beans and stuff. So
I love that.
I grow things. Yes, I'm a grower.
Not a shower.
I'm a grower and a shower. Yeah.
There you go. I've been there.
Grace, have you talked about this on your podcast yet? Have you told your story?
Oh yeah, always. Because my podcast is like this, it's more of a conversation where we share experiences. And of course I ask questions, but still, it's the audience also tunes in and they comment and they ask questions. So it's kind of like a party, like a fun party talking about cancer. So fun. But, we can make cancer fun. I'm not kidding. It's all about how you look at things, right? It's all about perspective. And so even cancer, I wrote a whole comedy special on cancer.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What,
that sounds hard. Sounds really difficult to do. Yeah. It sounds like the hardest thing to write.
No, it was easy. That was the way I dealt with it. It was a little tough to, especially as, I don't know if your brother did chemo, but you know how chemo is like, oh my God. It's like you look in the mirror and you're like, I think I'm dead. Because it's, oh my God, right?
Yeah. He says it was just the most awful he has ever felt in his life.
Yes.
And basically you feel sick to your stomach for basically 6 months straight.
Oh yeah.
But you're alive after that.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's the trade-offs, I'm glad my brother's still around and we can still hang out. I'm glad you're still around so you can come on our show and bring us some more listeners and stuff, because you're way more popular than we are. So
stop it.
I'm just kidding.
I actually I got a question here, because you take questions on your show, right, Grace, from the audience. I have a question. Me and Joe have been talking about this for quite a while, and we have disagreed completely on this. It's like,
which subject is this?
It's a relationship expert. People claim to be relationship experts, and I always wonder, in order to be a relationship expert, do you have to be in a lot of them in the past, or what are the prerequisites? Do you have to know a lot about the opposite sex?
You have to have dumped and or be dumped a lot of times.
Basically, you have to be a hoe. but if that's what you're asking.
Yeah, but if you are in all these failed relationships, are you an expert because you've been in 100 of them?
Of course. Don't you learn more from your mistakes than from your successes?
Well, you have to be self-actualized to understand that you have made some mistakes. If you're breaking up with people and rolling through people and you're always blaming the other person, guess what? You're the a-hole, not them. You are
100%. Well, I had long relationships. It's not like I go from person to person. I'm just joking. I'm not a hoe, not right now. But it's just, I think that I learned from my mistakes, and also I think that sometimes we bring our baggage to our relationship. And I had a lot of narcissistic abuse. My mom was BPD, borderline personality, so there was there's a lot of trauma that I brought into the relationships. And so my expectations were off. I was off, obviously, even though I'm a very chill person, I had all that baggage on me. And then I started working on it. And then after cancer, this is a very interesting thing. I had a bunch of tumors on my breast. And I felt like when I came out of the surgery, I felt like a whole different person. And it wasn't the drugs, though they were delicious, but it was, they were amazing. If you tell me go to surgery now, I'm like, give me some propofol, baby. Yeah.
No more for you. You are cut off. If you are fiending for it that much, no, you're out. You're cut off.
I know. So I had this revelation that the tumors were actually a physical manifestation of all the grief and the trauma that I've gone through. And so when they took them out, physically took them out, the things that triggered me before the surgery didn't trigger me again. So it was almost like I was healed, and I kind of, my way of dealing with it was like, oh, let's create some cancer. Let's just.
Interesting. A lot of people, different cultures and stuff, from what I read on the internet, that's like a really big thing over there. It's like, you can manifest things and then, get them out of you.
Well, it didn't have anywhere to go, the grief, and yeah. I thought I dealt with it, but obviously I didn't. And I'm not saying that caused my cancer, because you can't blame the victim, because the people that get cancer we're the victims, and it's the luck of the draw. Like you were saying, some people smoked all their lives and they don't get cancer. I never smoked and I got cancer, so it's the luck of the draw. But I do believe that if you don't deal with certain situations and certain issues, if you just maybe deal with them for a second and then just push them, it's like, not today, I don't have time, I'm busy, then eventually it's going to manifest in your body in some kind of way.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't know if I would agree with you that it would manifest to a cancer diagnosis degree, but I do understand that holding in all of that stress, anxiety, grief, trauma, and not talking about it and not trying to, you can't. It's gonna affect your mood. It's gonna affect your sleep. And once you start doing that and you start messing with your sleep and your mood and everything, then everything in your life starts going downhill, because you start getting into that, you start circling the drain, and you start getting into that point where you don't feel like you can get out of it. And absolutely. I know that especially in, we've been getting better in American culture about talking about our issues. Yes. But so many cultures throughout the world, including our own, are very restrictive when it comes to speaking about your feelings and your emotions. A lot of people think that that's weakness and things like that. But I disagree. I think it's strength. I think if you can come back and evaluate yourself and speak to it, you can be passionate about it and you can be emotional about it, but you got to be able to tap into yourself and understand that sometimes you need help. And asking for help isn't a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength and understanding that you can't do everything in life alone and by yourself.
Absolutely. We are community beings, right? We have to have a community, and you're completely right. I probably should have asked for help, and I'm not going to say should have, could have, but maybe if I would have gotten help and dealt with it, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't have had it, or maybe I was doomed to have it. I don't know. It's a mystery. We don't know.
Hey, here's what I think. Like you say, you're a different person than you were before, like in a good way.
Yes.
You figured out how to manifest, if that's the right word, and put it all there. And now you're a changed woman, kind of on the better, I
think so. I
hope so.
Absolutely. And I know people think I'm crazy, but I always think that say that cancer was actually a good thing that happened in my life, because it made me a better person. And I have like joy, peace, and I'm in that frequency like 90% of the time. And if I have a feeling of anger or I'm upset about something, I flip it. I learned how to flip it. Like if I'm nervous about something or fearful, and you get that stomach thing, like, ugh. And so I flip it. I'm like, no, I'm really excited about this, because it's a challenge to meet this psychopath,
This is your superhero origin story. You went through some trials. You got radiation you didn't know. It was gamma radiation, like the Hulk. And now you come out on the other side, and now you're Grace, the Superwoman.
Yes.
See, it's great.
Yes.
It's great. Origin
You
story
totally got
time. I love
me.
it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I'm surprised I'm not glowing in the dark, so I might be a little. I don't know if it's the lighting.
Well, now we just gotta institute Barry as your arch nemesis, and then your life will be complete. You could just fight Barry over and over again
I'm
for
nobody's
world domination.
No, I'm nobody's arch nemesis. Let's be real here.
Oh, he's the sweetest.
I'm everybody's friend.